Hello, this is Array Beidler. Today we are going to review the use of the OIG audit reports and resources. As you know, the Office of Inspector General provides both auditing and educational services to the Department of Health and Human Services and providers. Today we're going to talk about the Office of Evaluation and Inspections and the Office of Audit Services. If you navigate to the Reports and Publications tab, under the All Reports and Publications on the OIG website, you will find the Office of Evaluation and Inspections. Click on that. This page contains an alphabetical list of topics that OIG has conducted investigations on. When either searching for an audit topic to research or researching information on a specific topic, it's important to locate any audits the OIG may have already conducted. So you can go through all the A topics. You might have something on adverse healthcare events, and then you'll see that there have been several different audits that OIG has conducted. If you browse back, let's see, really depending on what topic you're looking for, maybe hospice, you want to take a look at those. And really, you can read through these and either find areas that you need to audit yourself for your organization, or just some lessons and education on what has been audited in the past. So we'll come back and take a look at a specific audit in just a minute. Another resource is the Office of Audit Services. So we'll go back to that All Reports and Publications. And you can see there the Office of Audit Services. And specifically, we want to look at either the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, or you might be looking at FDA audits, or Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, or perhaps Health Services and Resources and Services Administration. So let's take a look at what they have for CMS. So once you click here, you can find a list of audits conducted by OIG in date order. You will need to review this list to find applicable audits, which can take some time. If you're signed up to get the listserv from OIG, you should be getting these on pretty much a weekly basis, all the different audits that have occurred. You can see that there are audits on Medicare Administrative Contractors. NGS is one of those, so you can see that OIG has audited them, and then you'll be able to see perhaps that those audits may trickle down from the MAC or from the OIG, so you really want to see if this is something you should be auditing in your organization. And we'll go back and just take a look at the other ones here. So the FDA. These are older ones. They have some recalls. Really not applicable to the areas we're looking at. For HRSA, let's see here. These are, you can see Comprehensive Medical Family Healthcare Center. You can look at some of the others that would fall under this, and I know we do have some students who are working in some of these areas. The other is with mental health and substance abuse. There was one recently on information security weaknesses, so taking a look at this one might, let's open it up here. It has the audit number. So they do have a summary here, but really it's just a good idea to download the entire audit and just read through and get used to the ways that OIG, every audit they have is going to look the same. So you can tell what the topic is here at the top, the date at the bottom, and the audit number, which if you're going to be developing an audit tool, you'll want to cite this number. So I'm just going to scroll down. This is all the same. Every audit has that same boiler pages. So they get down to the executive summary. This can really tell you if this is something that's going to apply to your organization. You can say that they looked at information security controls to protect federal information. Every summary looks about the same, and usually we'll just scroll down into the meat of the audit. You can tell that they were looking at inventory management, antivirus, really information security pieces in this audit. So if this is something that you know your organization is going to be auditing or you want to add to your audit plan, you're going to want to read through this, talk about their findings. So let's go to there. They talk about the importance of inventory management. They get down into what an organization should have, and really this can help you set up that audit tool. Operating systems that are no longer supported by the vendor. Talk about security vulnerabilities. So that's what an audit looks like. Take a look at that. And now we're going to go back and look at CMS. All right. So I'm really trying to find a topic that maybe has some improper documentation or a way that you can kind of see what the OIG was looking at during those reviews. It might take a minute to scroll down through all the reviews they've had. So let's just find one and open it up. Okay, here's one. This is from October 10th. It says Medicare Compliance Review of MedStar Washington Hospital Center. So let's open this one up. I'm going to open the full report. So from the title, we really don't know, what issues were found. So it's a 20-page report. Let's take a look at what the findings were. So again, this was done by an assistant IG, and this was the number here of the audit. The typical information, and then we're going to get down to what happened. So this was part of a hospital compliance review, that a part of a series. They did data mining, and they were able to find that this hospital was overpaid. Let's see, I think it's down here. Our audit covered $3 million in payments, and you can see what they found down here were some errors. They found that 80 inpatient claims had billing errors, resulting in $400,000 of overpayments. 95 outpatient claims had billing errors, resulting in even more, over $600,000 in overpayments. So you can go through the entire, a lot of the findings. You can't go through the details. Then you can also go look at what Washington Hospital did to respond. So let's take a look here. So here it is. Here's the recommendation. They recommended that this hospital refund $1 million and work to control, and strengthen their controls to ensure full compliance. So we'll get into what they're looking at there. And really, this could probably be any hospital. They might be able to find errors when they're doing reviews. So that shows the importance of why we do ongoing coding audits within our hospitals. And there's a draft from the hospital of what they said. You can read through that yourself. And we're really going to go down into the meat of this. They really are an interesting read, and sometimes you can find them for either other hospitals or outpatient areas within your state, and you're like, wow, the OIG is here doing a review. We better pay attention to this. I know there was one that had come out when I was working at Salem for OHSU in some of their drug billing for some of their drugs. So we took a look at that. We did a quick probe audit, and we found out that we either weren't billing for that specific drug or that we didn't have any issues. So these are really a good idea to do probe audits on, just to see, hey, have we had this reviewed before by OIG? Is this on our work plan? And if not, maybe we should take a quick look at it, especially if one of the providers in our area has been audited. Okay, let's continue on. So you can see, why did they do this? This was just really a data mining, data analysis that they did. Their objective was to make sure that Medicare was billed appropriately for inpatient and outpatient services that were selected for review. You can go through, they just give all the background of what the different systems are for billing. They have a very general, in their previous work, these are the things they've found that were wrong. This again is something that you might want to make sure that you have on your audit plan. Are you looking at inpatient short stays? Are you looking at claims paid in excess of charges, different high severity DRG levels, claims paid over $150,000 for inpatient, claims paid over $25,000 for outpatient? These are some of the baseline audits you should have, and then doing the ongoing auditing on these different areas. If you're in the dental services area, the IMRT for radiation therapy, outliers, I mean, you can see the list here. So making sure that if you haven't reviewed these in a while at your organization, you need to be looking at these. And continuing on with all of their background, this is a full report. They talk about this hospital that is a 900-bed acute care teaching hospital in Washington, D.C. How they conducted the review. It looks like they, again, did the data mining, the data review. And they did select, it looks like, a focused time frame from 2010 and 2011, the audit period. And you can even go into Appendix A down at the bottom here to talk about their scope and methodology, just to get a better idea of how the OIG does their auditing. So, of the 313 inpatient and outpatient claims that were reviewed, 138 of them complied with the Medicare billing requirements. In those, it looks like 175 remaining, there were net overpayments of $1 million. We talked about this earlier. And then they get into the errors that came down here. With the inpatient claims, they were incorrectly billed as inpatient, meaning they probably should have been outpatient, or that the documentation did not support an inpatient stay. There were incorrectly billed DRG codes, so maybe the patient was put in as a DRG for sepsis and it was actually something else. I don't know the details here, but just that difference in DRG coding. Outpatient claims looks like incorrectly billed units of service, so maybe they had billed 2 when the claim was 1 and should never have been more than 1 unit. And these are good because they tell you where it's coming from. When you go to the manual, the CMS manual, it tells you what chapter this is in. So if you had something, an audit, or you were looking at something and you needed to know where that documentation is, you can look at it from these OIG. You can find that from the OIG audits. A lot of these are pretty vague. They're just talking about a bill must be completely accurate. They also provide dental services, so they have that here. This is one of the hot topics with the OIG work plan, the radiation therapy services, and having appropriate documentation for that. So it goes into what the CMS manual requires. Also the HCPCS code. And they also had one finding with manufacturer credit for replacement devices. These are all on the OIG work plan. So on and on, you can take a look at all the different findings they had here. Just a good exercise to add things to your audit plan, or if you're a similar entity, the size, and maybe you're an academic medical center, these are some things you're going to want to make sure that you're looking at as well. So I wanted to show you one more piece. This is Appendix C, and these are Washington Hospital's comments. So they did their own review of what OIG's findings were, and they submitted their response. So, as you can see down here, that they believe that they correctly billed, and they're going to tell the OIG why. So they're going through the different incorrectly billed as inpatient, And they're going to put in their argument as to why they think the level of care was appropriate. So right here, this is what, for a lot of the appropriate level of care, the medical necessity reviews, they are quoting the guidelines from Milliman and Interqual, which give specific guidelines on when a patient should be an outpatient. And they are saying that things within these pieces within the medical record prove that this admission was appropriate. So this is typical. We want to make sure that we are rebutting and appealing any findings that the hospital feels is appropriate. This is what you would do with your recovery audit contractor, with any of the Medicare audits that are coming along. You need to make sure you're doing that complete review of the findings from the auditor and rebutting anything that you believe is correct. And they continue on to talk about the DRGs. They thought that they received an underpayment, so they're talking about one of these here. They went through every area of that OIG report. And you can see number 6 here, they concur with this, they agree. And this is a very good review. So they would have the documentation attached. They didn't have it here with this report because this is now public domain, but the letter is here. So very good. This is a great example of what you would need to do when you are replying to an OIG audit as well. Well, I hope that helps you look into how you may review the OIG audits that come out routinely and be able to use those in developing your own organization's audit work plan, or look into areas where you need to do probe audits, or just FYIs on areas you need to be watching. So make sure you take a look at the OIG website periodically and also sign up for any of the listservs that they have. Thank you.